Okay, it is Tuesday, December the 12th, and I'm finished for the day. Just had a couple of trades, but did almost 2 hour today, about $2,800 on the demo. And I just want to show you what I was looking at today. One of the things that really has been, I guess you could say, an eye opener for me is these, what I call pivot points. And I think, in trading, what I've noticed is that all of trading is for me is what am I looking for? Because the nature of stock charts and the markets in general are such that you can slice and dice up the price action any way you want to. And there are thousands or millions or hundreds of millions of ways to view the market. It is a science, technical analysis is a science, but in a lot of ways, I've come to believe that it's more of an art form than a science. And what I mean by that is it's how you visualize what you're looking at and how you kind of shape it and form it into your perception and your understanding of what moves price, how and why and when. So, what I have really been experiencing is that trading is more of an art form than a science. And you just have to train your eye to see certain things. Just like if you're appreciating art, you have to train your eye on how to view art so that you can appreciate the fine, subtle qualities of the painting or the sculpture. Well, with trading, you have to train your eye how to appreciate the fine, subtle qualities of things like pivots and EMAs and shapes of candles and patterns of how candles interact with each other and all and on like that. So just suffice to say that pivots right now are something that I'm training my eye to pick up on and appreciate and notice and find relationships to with other parts of the chart. And so I'm just going to show you right now, real quick, a pivot point that I played on GJ, which is Great British Pound by Japanese Yen. Um, when you're watching a strongly downtrending issue like this, what you want to look for is a place where there's a very solid and sustained bounce, and that will create a pivot area that could be potentially a really great trading opportunity later on down the line. So if you're not good at looking for these, I suggest that, or if you're new at it, I suggest turning on a 15-minute chart. And so if you turn on a 15-minute chart, and even if you maybe even take off the wicks, I don't know, what you're going to see is you're going to see this right away. You're going to notice that this jumps out at you. It's kind of a several green bars after many red bars. And that is something that's going to jump out at you. And when that does jump out at you, you can leave the wicks off, by the way. It doesn't even matter because that's how I set the area. But what I'm doing is I'm putting in a line here. I'm making it gold because you're gonna make some nice money from these things. Um, and I'm gonna make sure that I sync it in my layout so it shows up on my other charts, my 5 minute, my 1 minute, etc. charts. So I'm setting that as an intention that is an area that if and when price comes back to that area from a long ways away, okay? And that's key. I'm not just talking about when price retraces here, although you could have traded it here. You definitely could have traded it here also. But the really big trades are when it comes back to that point from a long ways away. So, keep your eyes open for all of these opportunities, but when it comes back from that's what I did today. We had news at 8:30, and that sent the market rocketing up. And I just had my eyes on this pivot point right here. I was looking for a double top against it, and here it is right here. And when it double topped against it, it put in first. It first wicked above. The body stayed below, or this candle wicked exactly to it. This candle wicked above it, but the body stayed below it. This candle body stayed below it and wicked below it. And if that's not like reacting to the level, I don't know what is, because that's 3 candles in a row on the 5 minute chart that are reacting exactly to that level of 182.95. The next candle wicked above it, and as it came back down, I got short. And I rode it all the way down to about 75. I mean, I left 25 pips on the table because it went down to 50. But when it got down to 50, it bounced, okay? And I scalped it right here, and I got a little bit out of it right here. And then it went up and down, up and down. And actually, when I was, off the computer, it came all the way back up to that level again, put in another double top. And it's still going down from that point of view. And that was an amazing trade too, like 90 down to 6. That's 30 pips right there. So, this is a fantastic, fantastic area to trade in. The other thing that I did was that I did take this trade right here because I also had a line on the chart from another one down here. As you can see, this one. Let's see. Why did I mark? Oh, I marked it because of this pivot right here. I marked this line right here because of this pivot on the 15. So price came down, kind of bounced up, and then came back down again. So that to me was interesting, and I marked that. And then price went way below it, and then came up above it, and you can see it on the 5, where it started interacting with that level. As it came up to that level, it kind of it rejected a little bit, then it burst through it, and then it pulled back above it. And then that's where I found a double bottom to trade, and I took another nice little trade right there, which is right here, above the level, above the 8 EMA, double bottom, and I scalped this one too. So all in all, got about 2,800 on the demo account, and but the big the really big trade was this one right here. And look how nicely it came down from that level. That's a really nice move. And again here. So it's still going down. So that's right now that's a 2.5 hour trade right there. So these are great trades, and all you need to do is notice on a slower time frame where the biggest retracements are when there's a large move down like this. Mark that level, and then you can trade it. Like for example, you could have traded it. You could have traded it here also. Here also, this is a double top against it. This is a double top against it. And then here's a double top against it again, and here's another top against it. So there was 4 separate opportunities right there to trade that trade. So that's an amazing level and good money maker.